Hi, and welcome to another Deep Teach video in our Python tutorial series. Today we'll be going over user input. So we'll go over what is user input, what is it used for, the Python syntax, and a couple of examples. So firstly, what is user input and what is it used for? So user input is the way that a program is able to receive information from the user and process it. Programs which utilize a user interface, like your computer and many websites, are able to receive information from the user in order to fulfill their functions. Codes received input for it to be analyzed and output a result of the processed information to be given to the user. So the Python syntax and some examples. So in Python there are a couple of ways to receive input. You can specify the data type of the input, or if you don't and you use like a general input, the code will always save that as a string of characters. Now, firstly, you always declare a variable since you need to store whatever the user inputs somewhere, and then you declare, you equal it, and you type input. Now that is for general input, as I said, that will be saved as a string, but if you are sure about what you're doing, and for example, let's say you're doing a calculator which adds whole numbers, you will actually specify the data type of that input. So you will say here we have int and then another set of parentheses, and inside of those input. Or let's say you're adding decimal numbers, you will use float input. Or let's say you are getting the name of a person, you will use str for string and input. Now inside this quotation marks here that I have, that is where you actually type a message that will be displayed to the user for them to know what the code is actually for, what it wants from them. Now it is important to keep in track which data type corresponds to that variable, because again, you want to avoid crashing. You want to know what the code is actually for and what the user input will be used for. Now in error handling, you can transform data types and actually check which data type the user inputted to avoid crashing, but we will go over that in future videos. And here we have a little example, but let's go see user input in some code. So here we have user input within actual code. As you can see, we have our generalized input, our input specified to be a string, and our input specified to be an integer, and our input specified to be a float. Now let's run the code to actually see how this looks like. So here we have the code waiting for the user to actually input their information. So let's say green, John, 21, let's say 60.2. Now as you can see, the code is able to actually store this information and give it back to the user with our print statements over here. Let's print a space here so it is a little more readable. Now if we run the code again and we input different information, let's say orange, Mary, 25, and 20.3. As you can see, it stores this new information and gives it back to the user after our print statement. You can see the difference of Mary to John, orange to green, and all the other information we inputted. User input is quite important in code and quite useful for making a myriad of different codes. As you can see, information change, information be processed by the code from the user, which is most of the code that we use. All code, your computer, Google, it all takes information from you for it to be processed. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email us at digitalteachingofficial@gmail.com. You can also visit our website at digiteaching.org or follow us on Instagram at digitalteachingofficial. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out our future tutorials in our Python series, our Essential Computer series, or our Calculus series. Thank you very much.